It's like the black hole of Calcutta. Things go in and nothing comes out until the last moment when they cancel. So I can only surmise that that's what we can expect should he be nominated and elected. You might want to give that some consideration. Because if he stands you up here today, what's he going to do when he's surrounded in those gala halls of Washington? I have a couple of announcements I'd like to make. I've been taking some classes with a fellow by the name of Shane Krauser. Shane is from the East Valley. He's a county attorney, prosecuting attorney, and he gives constitutional classes. I'm sure some of you have been to those classes. He's been to this church a number of times. He's been to some Catholic churches that I help arrange up north in Cave Creek. He's been to the Palmcroft Baptist Church that I've attended, and some of the people in this room have attended as well. And basically, Shane has gone around and visited all of our churches, and no one's gone to visit his church. Well, he's having this Sunday an open meeting at the Chandler East Stake Center, which is located at 21320 South Greenfield Road in Gilbert, at 7 to 9, and he'll be giving a class. I plan to attend that. I'm driving, I've got one rider, perhaps two. I can take more if you're interested, but I'd urge you to do that. And if you see me after the debate, I can give you more of that information. Secondly, on September the 4th, the original North Phoenix Tea Party is going to commence its regular weekly meetings. We meet here at Deer Valley Church on Tuesdays. And in that meeting, we will be discussing the elections, obviously, and our work to elect conservatives in November. And we will also be inaugurating what we call We the People Arizona, which is a division of We the People Congress. Now, all of these people that we have elected as our elected representatives take an oath to uphold the Constitution and defend it against foreign and domestic. We have found over the last 100 years that they have failed miserably in that regard. And if you go to every state, you will find a building in the Capitol with a dome on it. And that's where the government is. That's where the government's doing things for us or to us. But where's the people's house? We don't have the people's house. We have relied on our elected officials, representatives, we're the officials, to represent us and defend that Constitution. Right now we have a president who has abused the Constitution beyond any president in our history. He picks and chooses what portions of the law he's going to defend or enforce, which is not his prerogative. He passes executive bulletins telling us what he will do and what we will do that are far beyond the four things he's charged with in the Constitution. So for us to control somebody like President Obama or Senator McCain or Representative Flake or Representative, you name it, fill in the blank. We need to have some people monitoring every segment of the government. And that's what We the People Congress is all about. It's a national movement, and our state, I'm the state coordinator for it, and what we want to do is set up at every level, school board, county, city, town, and state, monitoring groups that will monitor the Constitution or the charters and determine whether or not what our elected representatives are doing is in fact what they can do. When our founding fathers designed the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, they drew a box around what Congress could do, what the president can do, and what the courts can do. And it's up to us to make sure they stay inside that box. Everything outside of that box is us. And for 100 years, we've let them get away with bloody murder. So this movement, and I would urge you to consider joining us. On the 4th, we'll start our meeting, and we'll start the inauguration of that. We will not begin with We the People until after the November election. We've got too much to do. This is just the start. So, now the way this, and welcome candidates, the way this is going to work is each candidate will introduce himself and have 3 minutes to talk about yourself. And then we will have questions. You each get. And I will go round robin, starting with the left-hand side and moving progressively to the right with each question, and you'll have 2 minutes as the primary, not mine. As the primary question, you'll have 2 minutes. Then there'll be a 1-minute rebuttal on each side, and then another 1-minute rebuttal of those rebuttals, and then at least 2 times through for each question. Okay, now, and I have a timekeeper. John is right there. He's got a sign. He'll give you a hint as to when your time is up. Now, I'm not going to cut you off, or if you guys are into something that's very interesting, I'm going to let you go. But that's the way it's going to go. And at the end, you'll have 3 to 5 minutes to sum up. Okay? All right. So, if we have time, we will take questions from the audience as well. All right. First question. Now, you can sit or stand as you would. I'm going to do that. Okay. All right. If you'd like to stand and introduce yourself, we'll start with that.
Good evening. My name is Clair Van Steenwyk. Some of you know me as Van. That's basically how I run. Some of you know me from Tea Party groups we've attended, Tea Party groups we've started, Tea Party Express, all the rest of the things we've done together. I'm running for the U.S. Senate. I have a couple of reasons why I'm running. The major reason I'm running is because I believe we need to restore our country to a constitutional republic, because it's slipped into being a socialist democracy. I realize a lot of people wonder, what can you do to get this fixed? And I've had a lot of people ask me that over the last year. What can one person do? How many people have ever wondered that in this room? Oh, come on, be honest. Okay, that's at least 50% of the people here. So if you take yours with me, we are more than one person. And that's what we're supposed to be. It's us, it's we the people, it's not me, the individual. A lot of people wonder how you can control things. Everybody seems to be concerned about Obamacare and how do you repeal it. There's a simple solution to it. I used to run companies and have to fix things and had to find things wrong with them. Some had to be removed, some just had to be tweaked. One simple solution to Obamacare, and one other thing we can solve with it, is what goes on in most churches, the restriction of freedom of speech. Mr. Johnson passed a bill when he was a senator in 1954 forbidding nonprofits and churches from speaking politically or favoring candidates. He did that because 2 people in that particular group in Texas were speaking out against him. And we all know how Lyndon was, for those of us that remember. He had an evil problem that was bigger than this room. You repeal the 16th Amendment, which is our tax bills, and you repeal Obamacare, and you repeal that, and you repeal every other restriction on the American public that's stifling our economy and ruining us as a nation. That one simple move gives us back freedom of speech and everything else we need. I know a lot of politicians haven't figured that out yet, and I know why. Because if they ever did, they'd lose most of their power. And that's not what it's all about for most of them. It is about power. It's not even about money for them, it's power. They are power-hungry people. There are so many things we can do if we just reinstitute the Constitution, remove the 16th Amendment, pass a fair tax, our economy booms again, we get sovereignty back to the states, and we're off to the races, as we used to be. But all of these things are issues that some people don't like, many people don't discuss, and quite frankly, most of the people I hear on TV running for big offices like the presidency don't even know. They want to do this in 10 years. In 10 years, we won't exist. Even as we are today, we won't exist if we give them 10 years. They're going to ruin us. So that's why I'm here. I hope for any of you who haven't voted, you'll consider me. I hope for any of you who have and have not yet mailed them, you know you can get another one. So I'm I'm here for the questions. God bless you, and thank you for having me.
My name is Wil Cardon, and it's an honor to be with you here tonight. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I'm sick and tired and I'm fed up with the representatives we have and the career politicians we have right now who represent themselves and not the people. I believe now more than ever we need business people back in Washington, D.C. We need people who've actually balanced budgets, who've made payrolls, who understand the difference between spending more than you take in and spending less than you take in. We have had career politicians who have managed decay in Washington, D.C. now for several decades. And as a result, our country is worse off. My family has been in Arizona for 150 years. I come from a very great heritage. I grew up in the service station business. I grew up being the low guy in the construction crew and worked my way up in that family business to where I've been the president and CEO of that the last 12 years. I've run that business. It's been primarily real estate and petroleum, debt-free, and have managed to be very blessed by multiplying the value of that business. I understand how the real world works. And we don't need any more career politicians back in Washington, D.C. who don't, who have studied it out of books, who have a lot of nice theories, but don't understand the real world. The second thing I think we need right now more than ever are outsiders, not insiders. We don't need people who are beholden to the Washington establishment. That is what has gotten us in the mess we're in the first place. You'll notice that the gentleman who didn't show up here tonight is endorsed by a lot of the Washington establishment, has run millions of dollars worth of ads. He's had one group that's put in $3 to $4 million called the Club for Growth, running mostly ads against me, telling lies. I don't think that's what's in the best interest of the people of Arizona. I think we in Arizona need to be able to pick our own leaders, rather than have some outside group telling us who we should pick in our elected officials. The third thing I think we need right now more than ever are consistent, reliable conservatives. People who don't flip-flop on important issues like immigration. People who don't say, oh, well, I was for amnesty for 10 years, but now that I'm running for the Senate, I'm against amnesty. And I don't believe the military is a social experiment. I voted to repeal the national tell, but now I'm really a fiscal and a military hawk. That's not what we need. We need people who are consistent in their values and will say the truth and speak up for the truth, not later on say I lied. Because in these times more than ever, we need to elect people who we can trust. And that's what this election comes down to. Who can you trust to represent the conservative values that we need now to take this country back? I hope I can earn your vote. It's an honor to be with you here tonight. Thank you for having us.